Today we'll talk about different jobs you can do while in occupational therapy school. When I was going to school, before I started my field work, I did around 3 to 4 different jobs, and I'll share them in order of my least favorite to my favorite. The first one that I did while I was in my occupational therapy program before starting field work was my retail job, and I found it to be kind of okay in the beginning. I did the registers and then I transitioned to doing the stockroom, and the hours I got were pretty conducive to my school schedule because some of the hours I can do before the store opened, so I can do 4-hour shift, go to school, and then I'd be done for the day, or rather than going and working late at night or doing night shifts. So it was okay for work-life balance. The second one that I did was I worked at a call center. That did not last very long. The hours were pretty inconsistent. It just depends on the company that you're in, but the one company that I had, they weren't very consistent. I didn't really know how long my shift was going to be when I clocked in, so that was definitely a no-go. The third job that I did while I was in my occupational therapy program was home health, and I really like it. It was definitely in my top 2 favorite jobs to have while I was in school because it was easy to do my homework, because the family that I had worked with, they were really laid back, and they said that as long as their family member was being taken care of, I was free to do my schoolwork. I can take my homework with me, and a lot of the times I got it all done while I was at work, so when I went home I kind of had more time to myself, and that was a really great job to have. Then my number one most favorite, I actually did closer to the end of my program, was an activities coordinator. Or activities coordinator assistant. So it was at a nursing home, and my job was basically to interact with residents, provide them with different activities to do, and I found it easy to do my schoolwork in between, like during my breaks or while the residents were watching a movie. I can bring out my laptop and work on my assignments, and my manager was really good because she knew I was going back to school, and she let me take my homework and do it in between breaks as long as the residents were engaged in what they were doing and as long as I interacted with them. And those are just some of the jobs that I did, and I was able to go through occupational therapy school and even pay some of my debt down while I was in school. Now, one thing to note is that some occupational therapy programs require you to sign a contract where once you start your field work, you are not allowed to have any other outside employment. So that is something to take into consideration when you're applying to a program. But you can talk to it with your director, come up with another plan, but just keep that in mind. And also, it's good to have a job that will let you, that is low stress, low responsibilities. That's kind of a passive job. Another job that I considered doing that would be really great is receptionist. The gym had like positions for students, especially, where you could just sit at the front desk and you're just there to answer questions, and you can have your homework with you. And those are not as high paying, but you can do more hours and you're getting paid basically while you're doing your homework. So it's not as good pay, but you can work more hours and get your studying done in the meantime. So that's my advice. Let me know what you did or what you're thinking about doing. Comment below. Thanks for stopping by.